So Kendrick Lamar would have no problem putting together multiple untitled, unmastered type projects for his GNX album if the Compton Rap King felt like blessing his fans with new music. So in a new interview with Variety, reflecting on the making of his chart-topping, Grammy-winning project, Kendrick's longtime producer Sounwave revealed that between 80 and 100 songs were recorded for GNX, which is kind of crazy, and only 12 tracks made the final cut. So that brings up a question. And that question is there such a thing as overdoing it as an artist, where extreme volume or constant self-editing ultimately delays or even stifles the speed of output?
I can see it on both ends, but I also know that Prince and Michael Jackson kind of did the same thing, to where I think there was something like 100 songs recorded for Bad. You know, there was something. It's always close to 100 for each of like the records, like Off the Wall. Not so much Off the Wall, but I remember when he was really trying to knock it out of the park, Thriller. Like there was, at one point he was very unhappy with the cut of Thriller and what was selected. And there's all these outtakes that are kind of floating around out there, not, the internets. So I don't see this as something that is so outlandish, as far as Kendrick is concerned. Maybe there are other rappers that see it as such because they only have about 18 songs in them, when it's time for recording. But I know, and this is probably to his fault, Dr. Dre has, just songs by people. These are everybody.
Look out for Detox.
Yeah, right. And so, like, I don't think that this is the big deal that people make it. I think it's more common that a lot of people want to believe. I think that now a lot of rappers, especially in the hip, it's all this stream of consciousness music. And so it's like, okay, once that stream of consciousness is done, okay, those are the records we have for this project. So I don't, when I've seen the other commentary about this, and I don't think this is something so ridiculous. A lot of these songs probably might have just been skeletal,
most likely,
frameworks of things that never really, got past the initial planning stages. That's a lot of how a lot of people record.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
I mean, good for Kendrick that you cut it down to what you did, but I think, when you look at artists from every genre out there, there are a lot of that over record, the material for a particular project.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's kind of par for the course for an artist to over record what they need for a project. And then with Kendrick, I mean, one of his rap idols is Tupac. Everybody knows how Tupac recorded. Tupac was literally like always in the studio. Whenever you hear stories about him, he was always recording. And if you were supposed to be on the song, then whoever's here, if you weren't there, is going to be on the song because I'm just going to get the song done. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's just something that artists do that are really particular about their art. They'll have a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor, and sometimes you hear it and sometimes you don't. I mean, he gave you, was that Untitled, which were pretty much what was left off of To Pimp a Butterfly, essentially, because it had that same sonic sound. You could tell they were trying to use it for something, and they just put it out. So, I mean, I think this is just typical as an artist that records a lot of music in order to kind of structure an album.
I could speak to it at a local level.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's several peers of mine who record a lot, and you sit on it long enough. I think what I struggle with sometimes is you sit on stuff long enough. How long does it take for you to start to hate it?
Yep.
And you move on and find yourself to be at a different place as an artist with the music you've already recorded, and you listen back to it and you're like, I don't think that represents me very well anymore.
Yeah.
And so you stack enough of that, and obviously there's going to be good ones within there. But my second thought is that, are we in a different time now with releasing music where mixtapes aren't as prevalent? But you think back to when somebody like Lil Wayne, like you said, like a Tupac who's in the studio 24/7, and then you have a Dat Piff outlet where you could just drop the Drought Part 1, 2, 3, dedication to, shit that from the Carter 2, 3 was just throwaways essentially, but you can put them in mixtape form and release them to the public. Now we don't really have those throwaway type outlets.
Yeah.
You wonder if we still did, or we were still in that culture, if Kendrick would have more mixtapes out,
Nah, that makes sense.
We do though. I mean, the game just essentially gave us a project this past week, like that.
The DJ drama.
Yeah,
That's
true.
You know what I mean? Like you just put it on Apple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just release it to the people. And
Is that too official though? You think sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. I think from an artist perspective, you know, like
They save that for their.
we're very particular about how our catalog looks.
Yes, for sure.
And so, like, if you just throw something, like even me, like I'm working on 3 projects right now, but I'm thinking about how I'm going to reveal this to make it aesthetically the way that it makes sense in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's definitely part of it. And I think that I didn't even think about that, but just having random mixtapes, that was kind of a thing, man. You could just like throw them out. I think SoundCloud's kind of like that now too.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if it any more has the same traction I think that it once did.
I don't think for an artist such as like a Kendrick or a mainstream artist like that, I don't think so. But it's definitely kind of like had a resurgence of young underground, like a second, because you know when SoundCloud rap kind of became a thing,
right?
There's a whole nother group of children under that are dropping stuff now.
Yeah,
but it's just like they did with the disses. You know what I mean? They just threw them out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everybody went there to listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you drop it, we gonna go listen to it.
Yeah.
Just put it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
I think it is tough to compare the level that those disses were at with a album throwaway though.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
ready to you were waiting for it. There's like eagerness.
It depends on who it is though. Like
I feel like Cole's done this though.
you know what I mean? Like Kendrick, the right person that does it, people are gonna go to check it out.
For
like
sure.
Drake drop a new record on there, people are gonna go over there to listen to it. You know what I mean?
But how big? I guess then how big do we have to be to drop throwaway shit on?
Yeah,
that's up to you. Because it's really about your fans.
Yeah, true. I think multiple things about this from the perspective of like getting tired of material.
Yeah,
like all right, so I have 3 specific projects I'm working on right now. They're almost done, right? But on the same plane, I've got like me and Maja 7th and I have like 25 records with Skip.
Yeah,
that are just sitting right now. I don't know if those are ever going to see the light of day, just because of exactly what you said.
I'm trying to talk him into it a little bit.
Well, we just need to have a conversation, but I'm just speaking to that, you know. And I know a lot of artists that record just a bunch of records. Skip is one of them. He'll just write, record. He'll do a bunch of, he'll just power through them. I've always been an artist that like almost for the first like 5-6 albums that I put out, almost every single song I made it to a project. We just reworked that song over and over again until we liked it. Even if it meant remixing the beat completely or rewriting the chorus or whatever, like we would just work the hell out of a record. So we didn't have any throwaways.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 different interesting perspectives of like, it's probably honestly from a Kendrick perspective, it's probably just more efficient just to go through another idea because he's got endless resources and but
see, what you just displayed though is like the Kanye motive. Like he'll drop a project and keep working the same records over and over until
I think that's different. The way Kanye just drops it, and then he's going to tweak it. I mean, because you have the opportunity to tweak it now while it's already out. I think what he's saying is until he tweaks it before he actually
people hear it.
Yeah. Kanye does this. It's almost like how video games are not finished when you get them.
That's his thing. But like, I mean, to Double A's point, a lot of artists record stuff and they're just not in that space anymore. Like Tyler the Creator has a clause that says if he passes away, you cannot release any of my music that I didn't release already. Yeah. So obviously he has a big catalog that we haven't heard, and if we don't hear it before he goes, then we're just not going to get it. Yeah. And it was the same way with Prince. I know he has a vault full of stuff that they're fighting for people to hear, but like in the same token, I don't want to hear stuff if it's not the way that the artist created it. Right. I don't want to hear somebody else's interpretation of what I thought they wanted this to sound like. You don't
want another DMX album?
No.
Nah, I'm cool.
I just like especially like with an artist like Kendrick Lamar that has 88 unreleased songs, like if these were 88 songs were like spectacular, we would probably hear them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't know that, man.
Yeah. If it was that good, GNX could have easily been a double album if he had that many bangers left over. I don't think these are songs he recorded, but I don't think they're finished.
I don't think so either. So that brings up another question. What's the true value of these 88 unreleased songs, Byron? What do you think?
Man, to me, it's like the fine chick that won't give you none. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear nothing about it if you know what I mean? Like,
This is her waking up in the morning though, so she ain't put together yet.
no.
You still don't want to hear nothing about it.
Yeah, I won't hear nothing about it. If she fine to you, she fine to you. You're not worried about it in the morning or not.
Well,
Depends on who you talk to, but yeah, I see your point.
We talk about, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, I don't know, man. And it kind of gives the fan, like people that actually listen to music as a fan versus,
Consumer.
yeah, I'm listening to it different because I might, if you drop something and I don't like it, then I'm like, okay, that was just cool. You could have kept that, essentially. Just, I mean, everybody has an artist or a favorite artist that drops something that they don't necessarily like, and they never go back to that. You know what I'm saying? And then we're not in a place anymore where somebody can drop something that just completely eliminates you because you can just drop stuff anytime now. But back in the day, if you drop something, it could literally hurt your career.
Yeah, I
And
don't
it
think that's the
also-
case anymore.
No, it's not. But it still leaves a sour taste in your mouth when an artist that you rock with drops something and it's just like subpar. Like something they hype you up. Case in example, the Joey Badass release this year. It was hyped up so much. He had a lot of steam going into it.
Never went back to it.
And when it came out, it was like, this is it, man.
Yeah, because he was coming off the beef.
Yeah.
Stuff,
Like
yeah.
he started a whole beef at the beginning of the year with
Right.
everybody. I mean, how good he is. And he dropped the album and it's kind of like,
Pooh.
I'm kind of cool on you now, man. Like you pretty much got to build all that shit back up now.
Yeah.
Does he though? I guess that's the question though, because if Joey Badass drops another record tomorroll, it's
I'ma
not
listen to
going to
it.
deter me.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
going to listen
I
to
feel
it.
like we're in an interesting space to where like I honestly don't really think it matters to anything outside of this type of conversation
Yeah.
where we're like super analyzing like hip hop spaces of like, well, because Joey Badass dropped a dud over here, that means that he ranks number 96 on the scale instead of number 87 over
Yeah.
here and stuff. I think outside of that, like I'm going to check for Joey regardless.
I'm gonna
Right.
check for it, but I'm less excited about it. Another case in point, everybody knows I'm a big Kanye fan.
Yep.
Up until a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So like he started dropping stuff that just was not the same quality of the artist that I rock with. So now if he drops something, it's kind of like I get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
But it got to that point though. Like I
Right.
feel like it's like you have to show consistency that you are just not carrying or putting
Mhm.
that in there, or you're just not hitting that mark anymore.
yeah.
I guess my question would be, how long are you willing to wait
Yeah.
for certain people? And if you get to a certain level, do you have, I'm assuming, the grace to make people wait longer versus
Mhm.
at a local level or, semi-national level to where you're expected to drop more consistently because it helps you, even if it's not maybe album tier,
Sure.
but the consistency will help your name get out there versus a Kanye or a
Just-
J. Cole or Kendrick,
Yeah.
Just
where you can
feeding
make
the
people
streets.
wait. Yeah, exactly. You can make
Yeah.
people wait 5 years. And
I think it's all about, especially from a local level, to me, it's all about momentum.
yeah,
And once you lose that momentum, then you got to build it back up again.
for sure.
You don't really drop that momentum when you're Kendrick Lamar.
Nah.
You know, like Drake's never going to lose his momentum again for the rest of his life. People going, even if none of us like it, we still
I
might
was gonna
check it
say,
out.
like you said with Joey, he could drop a dud. I'm still
Yeah.
checking for it
That's
afterward.
what I mean. It's just, but from like a local level, building yourself up, you just don't have the cachet, you don't have the clientele to do that. And that it's consistency. It could be a word, but I like the word momentum
Yeah, for sure.
because I feel like momentum is a different type of thing in that space.
So if you consistently drop an ass,
Then then that's what you are,
yeah.
But
But what if you give them some heat? And
I mean,
then
there's
you might give them some ass.
Sure.
But
then I think it depends on what type of
Okay.
But what outweighs what? I
Yeah,
guess.
you know what I'm
Well, it depends
Yeah.
what type of artist you are, right?
Yeah.
It depends where you are in your journey. So, like, if we can tell as consumers of this music that this person is just throwing straws out at the least, like, oh, I'm gonna make a record like to try to give these people. I'm gonna make a record to try to get these people, and we can tell that they're doing that. It's like why would I tap into you? Like, I want to tap into somebody who is maybe not as polished, but they are working to get closer to whatever they're getting to. And I think that's genuinely how you build a fan base. Is you be who you are.
Authenticity.
And, and you grow it that way, as opposed to just, I got these 900 songs. I mean, and now if they're all these 900 songs are you, and it's just telling a story, I think it can work. It worked for Lil B. Like, it can work depending on like who you are. Like, as long as, like Double A says, as long as it's authentic. And so we're still kind of in this interesting content is king era right now, kind of. But I feel like we're leaning away from it. But I feel like authenticity and being who you are, I think, is at the base level of it all.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because Wayne dropped an album this year.
Did he?
That literally nobody talks about it because nobody liked it.
Yep.
And
but they listened to it.
He stayed true to himself. Consistently, like style wise and the same artist, but it's not, people are ready for more growth. So that kind of goes back to, if you're recording these songs and you just want to give people something to give them, people are going to get to the point where they just don't care anymore.
I think you got to find that balance of what that is, and I feel like Wayne, again, would, in my opinion, be on the other side of that. Like, he's already established, like if you're a young artist and you're developing whatever you're developing, you can go for a while. But even me, like, I'm a huge Odyssey fan. But his last album that he dropped, I was like, it is good. It's very good. But it kind of sounds like the last thing that he dropped. And even me, who's a super fan of this guy and have been since he was dropping singles on low budget, if you remember that record, like back in like 2005 and stuff, like it just didn't move me as much. But I'm still going to check them next time.
It's not consistent as.
I felt,
it's not.
Well, I felt some, like, there was an artist that I'm a big fan of that was trending that way to me, which was Big Crit. Yeah. And he just dropped some heat.
He's been dropping stuff recently.
Yeah, like
quietly.
This last project, he just dropped this over the weekend.
Is it good?
It slaps. It's
nice.
He went back to what I originally loved him for, music for the whip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you got some bangs.
I think once you establish that authenticity at a certain type of level and you reach a certain plane, I don't know what that realm is exactly, but once you reach it, you're always going to have somebody, even if you go off and do something experimental or that doesn't quite hit in the type same way, like, you can always reach back to those people. They're going to give you a little bit of grace, I think.
Man, it's just once you create a fan.
Yeah.
Once you create a fan and somebody that buys into your story, like we said, like we talked about Busta last week, the character.
Yep.
When somebody buys into your story, you always got a listener.
Yeah. So do we take it too far when we analyze artists and their creative process in this particular type of way, do you think?
I think we do. I think because sometimes we're so invested in not really the creative process, but what we want from that artist.
Yeah.
We're like, well,
parasocial relationships.
Yeah. It's like, well, could you, come on, where are the, give us these records, Kendrick? Like that, for people who are just, like I love Kendrick's music, bought all of his records, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, if that's your process, that's your process. But there are people who just want more from you.
Like Andre.
Yeah, in a way. But then, with the thing with Tyler, where he's like, after I die, don't start putting, my sketches out, if you will. And I can super relate to that. Well, I mean, I can't relate to that because I'm not an artist. But, when we started hearing the repackaged stuff that they gave us from Tupac, official releases. And, I was one of those people that heard those bootleg, and so when I hear, I know what Pac's life, what his vision for the song Pac's life was for. And then when I hear it with Ashanti on it, I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I can completely understand why people want to be more protective over their unreleased work, whether they're alive or dead.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
I mean, it makes sense to me, but I just think sometimes you have to be aware that just because they're not letting you hear it, it's not about an artist's selfishness. It's like, look, this doesn't fit my artistic vision. And quite honestly, yeah, it's technically a song, but it's not done.
But that's the thing, though. If I'm a fan of these artists, like, I'm interested in hearing all 88 of these songs from Kendrick. Just don't touch them. Like, if Kendrick, Lord forgive him. Lord willing, this doesn't happen. But if Kendrick passed tomorrow and they have the opportunity to release them 88 songs, I'm going to want to hear them. Just don't touch them. Like, there's no reason I should hear a Tupac song with Eminem and Biggie.
Or,
You know what I
or
mean?
a Kendrick Lamar song from GNX that features Tom McDonald.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
And Jelly Roll, like you know, because there's somebody at the label that would try to hook that up.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can. That's okay with me. I personally, I don't know why. I just don't care about hearing artist music outside of like what
They want
me to hear, but
Yeah.
I just don't. It's just I don't know. It's just I can't. Maybe if I thought about it and meditated on it or something, I could come to the conclusion or something. But like, it just doesn't interest me. Even like the Mac Miller stuff that's come out recently, I've heard people praise it like they did it tastefully and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's almost just kind of like, all right, he established his legacy. Let it just be what it is. You know, I don't know.
Just like I heard whispers about, there's some D'Angelo music coming, and I really am not interested.
See that I'm actually interested
curious.
in hearing that.
There's a difference between me being curious and
Yeah.
interested.
But what if Quest don't touch it though? It's exactly.
But they actually had got some
I'd be
stuff
okay
done.
with Quest touching it though.
Yeah, because they work
Okay.
together,
Yeah.
so they have things done. So in that case, that's a little different
Okay.
because they actually had completed some things. So I'm interested to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, when you start again, like you brought up Tupac with Ashanti. Ashanti wasn't even out when Tupac died.
Right.
That's a little different in the whole Biggie duets thing and all of that weird shit that came out. And I mean, it still comes out to this day. You can buy verses from people that aren't here anymore and put them on your song if you want to.
Yes.
And I don't really care for that type of energy. So yeah.
You know what it could be, the future, which I really don't want to speak this into existence, but I'm going to.
AI.
Yep.
Sure, they probably already started doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Drake did it.
True.
Yeah, he did. They
True.
made him take it down.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyways,